Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. People demand freedom. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. People understand me so poorly that they don't even understand my complaint about them not understanding me. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. What if everything in the world were a misunderstanding? What if laughter were really tears? The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. A common form of despair is not being who you are. Knowledge is a wealth that cannot be stolen. The tyrant dies, and his rule is over. The martyr dies, and his rule begins. To dare to lose one's footing momentarily, not to dare, is to lose oneself. Many of us pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that we hurry past it. Face the facts of being what you are, for that is what changes what you are. Boredom is the root of all evil, the despairing refusal to be oneself. It is so hard to believe because it is so hard to obey. The self-assured believer is a greater sinner in the eyes of God than the troubled disbeliever. It is impossible to exist without passion. Why bother remembering a past that cannot be made into a present? Leap of faith, yes, but only after reflection. Happiness is the greatest hiding place for despair. On the secretly blushing cheek is reflected the glow of the heart. My sorrow is my castle. It is very important in life to know when your cue comes. A no does not hide anything, but a yes very easily becomes a deception. Take away the paradox from the thinker, and you have a professor. Hope is a passion for the possible. Once you are born in this world, you're old enough to die. Cultivate the will. This is the armor that preserves the mind. If you want to be loathsome to God, just run with the herd. Therefore, do not deceive yourself. Of all deceivers, fear most yourself. My standpoint is armed neutrality. The only intelligent tactical response to life's horror is to laugh defiantly at it. What is youth A dream. What is love? The dream's content. To be lost in spiritlessness is the most terrible thing of all. Whoever has learned to be anxious in the right way has learned the ultimate. Don't forget to love yourself. I would rather be a swineherd, understood by the swine, than a poet misunderstood by men. It is better to get lost in the passion than to lose the passion. Life has its own hidden forces, which you can only discover by living. Far from idleness being the root of all evil, it is rather the only true good. Sleeping is the height of genius. For it is not what happens to me that makes me great, but it is what I do. People settle for a level of despair they can tolerate and call it happiness. You become what you understand. Faith is the highest passion in a man. Life has become a bitter drink to me, and yet it must be taken in drops, counted one by one. Be that self that one is.